My little trailer, which is inside dimensions, is just over 4 feet by 6 feet. I kind of, and 9 inches high, up to the top of the railings. I kind of like to have some kind of something solid. So if I ever want to haul some dirt or sawdust or anything like that, it won't fall out through the holes, of course. So I've got a couple pieces of metal. This sheet here is about 4 feet square, and at one time it was used behind a wood stove, so it's pretty heavy duty. And I'm thinking that maybe if I cut that out into 9-inch high strips or so, I can somehow maybe fasten it all along the inside of this. I don't want to take up too much room on the inside, because obviously if I ever want to haul a 4x8 piece of plywood or something, it's got to be at least 4 feet wide on the inside. So that's why I'm thinking tin or metal. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to measure strips of this 9 inches high, take my angle grinder, and I'm going to just cut strips 9 inches wide, and then we'll end up using some kind of a U-clamp or bolt to go right around the frame and through the metal. I think that's probably the easiest, and I'll do that 2 or 3 on either side, and again on the back. In case you're wondering, the back of this does have a ramp, but I've taken it off and I've used a bed frame. I cut a bed frame up and bolted it together. So this metal is 43 inches square, and if I straighten out the lips here on the top and the bottom, that should give me about an extra inch on the top and the bottom, so it makes 45. If I cut it in 9-inch strips, that would make it 5 strips that are done. So I'm going to take my 5 strips and I'm just going to peel it back that way first. So then that way this piece will be straight, and then I'm going to take my 5 strips and then I'll bring it right straight up, and then when that's done, I'll take my ball peen hammer and I'll just bang it on a piece of 4x4 and get that nice and straight all along here. So then I'm going to measure down 9 inches and we'll cut it. So when I get to that point, I'll come back. So I got it all flattened out. I removed some of that metal that was welded to the back, so it's just a really heavy piece of metal. It is 45 inches tall and 45.5 inches this way. So I'm going to horizontally measure and mark every 9 inches across. So that should give me 5 45.5 inch long rows of 9-inch high pieces. So I'll get that marked, and then we'll go from. So I've got my 5 lines cut every 9 inches across. I've got a pair of electric shears, so hopefully that's going to work. This is pretty thick metal. If that doesn't work, then I'll have to use my grinder. So let's lay you down and let's see if it'll work. Of course, wear your safety glasses when you're doing this. Okay, it looks like you're all set up. Fingers are crossed. And I'm just going to go right down the middle of the line. And just like that, I still got to cut this one, but I cut the second line, so it's going to cut like butter pretty near. So I'm going to cut the other 3 cuts, and then I'll have 5 pieces that are 45.5 inches long. So simple as that. So I'll get back to you when this is all done. So there we go. All 5 pieces are cut out. There's the 4 springy things that were left over from the shears when it cut the metal, and those I'll make sure they go to the recycle at the end of the month. And so now I'm going to take these out to my little trailer, and I think what I'm going to have to do is probably cut one of these in half, and one side will be a full piece and a half piece. And the being that they're 45, that's about 3 inches short on the width, so one full piece for each, the front and one in the back. So I think this is going to be perfect, exactly all I need. So we'll take a look and dry fit it. So this is some of the green metal, and I was just discussing it with my better half and how we're going to do this, and I think we're just going to probably leave the siding or metal right on there. And being that the piece of metal is probably about 5 inches too short, I think what I'll do is on the side I'm going to cut off about, or not cut, go about 3 inches or so, and we'll make it into a 90-degree turn, and then I can run a couple bolts to hold them together, and then we'll go down the side, and wherever there's a side on the trailer, like a stud part, I'll bolt it to that. And then we think probably the best thing for the tailgate is I will bolt a piece of the metal right to the tailgate only, so then when we lower the tailgate, then we can get things in and out, and once it's up, it'll be all encased or whatever with metal. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a piece of metal there, put a 90-degree on the one on the corner, come down, and we'll stop it here, and then we'll do another piece of metal all on the back, and then up the other side. So I think I'm going to have to cut one more piece of green metal, and I do have another big piece of green metal to use, and maybe I'll see if I can scrape that rust a little bit and spray paint it and get rid of the green too. So I'll get back to you maybe when it's all finished. There, that's my 45-degree angle that I'll use for in front, so it'll stand like this, and the other piece of metal will go right here. The corner piece that I just cut, or just bent, is right here, and like here's the front piece that goes along the front, and I've done this for both sides. So here we'll bolt it a couple times there, it'll run down. This piece stops there. This is another piece of green here. I'm going to put it right in, there's a little hollow at the back, that's the back of the trailer, and then it comes up and then overlaps, so it's way too long, but I'll give it about an inch or two, and then I can put a bolt or two here, and then we'll put a bolt in there to hold it, there, and probably up front, and then one at the back, and we'll do the same thing for the other side, and then a bolt up front, and then I've got to cut a couple pieces of metal to do the tailgate. Just working on putting the metal along the side to make sure everything fits. I see right there, there's a little hole that I can use. That's 3.5 in, and 2 1/4 that way. So if I go 3.5. It's about here, and 2 1/4 down from the top is about there. So I'll drill a hole here, and then I'll put another bolt there, and that will be holding the side. So once I get that, you can see, then I put a couple bolts around the thing, right around to the front. So I'm just putting the bolt every 2 feet or so, and right to the frame of the trailer, or the side frame of the trailer, and so I'm about halfway done. So my trailer is finished. In the back, what I ended up doing is I took 3 pieces of metal, and they fit right up against these bed rails that I got here, and then I bolted them on. and everything is good and solid. On the inside, I took some blue metal spray paint and I sprayed it the inside. Outside, obviously, I just left this the green, so it's green on the outside and blue in the middle, but that's fine. Everything is 9 inches tall, so it's just below the railing, so I won't cut myself. And of course, if I ever need to carry a load or anything, the way my railings are made, I can hook a bungee cord or something, or a ratchet strap right underneath here and then over the top. So that's all there is to it. I've made my trailer now. I can carry dirt, sawdust, a load of potatoes if I want to. So hopefully you'll like this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, and a share, of course, too. So thank you very much again.